Hi, my name is Lauren Nelson, and I'm a junior studying marketing at UW-Milwaukee. Today, I'm going to introduce you to my company, Levor. Levor is an organic hair care company whose mission is to desegregate the hair care industry. In today's presentation, I'll be breaking down Levor's journey into 4 different phases. In phase 1, we started with custom wigs. My original hypothesis was that physically active women would pay to have alternative hairstyles to reduce stress and save time. This hypothesis originated from personal pains I was feeling on a day-to-day basis. Being on the women's tennis team, I needed a way to go from 3 hours of training to getting ready for student clubs and meetings with having only about 30 minutes to prepare. I resorted to making custom-made wigs for myself that closely resembled my own hair. In my dorm room, I would spend about 6 to 8 hours making each wig, and I sold a total of 4 wigs around the price of $300 each. From there, I wanted to look for a way to make this side hustle into a sustainable business. I began my customer discovery where I interviewed 15 women who had worn wigs before and 15 women who had never worn wigs at all. Through these interviews, I was looking to understand the pain points of styling hair in comparison to time. And I wanted to know if these custom-made wigs would be something to solve their everyday hair problem. My value propositions consisted of convenience and customization. And I quickly learned that not everyone was experiencing as much of a time crunch as I was, but through my interviews, I was able to learn something much more valuable. I found that 21 out of the 30 women would prefer to wear their natural hair. I also found that about half of the women who would rather wear their natural hair either had problems with currently managing their hair or didn't have the proper products needed to get their desired outcome. Through these interviews, I was able to discover that women do want to wear their natural hair. They just want to look and feel good while doing so. As I began to explore the market, I wanted to validate that this was something people would pay for. Going into phase 2, I had 2 hypotheses. First being, health-conscious women would pay for safe and high-quality products in a way that decreases everyday hair issues. The second hypothesis was, salons and retailers would pay for safe and high-quality products in a way that increases their revenue. I started by putting a poll on my Instagram page asking who would be interested if I were to sell organic hair care products. I received 31 responses, with 25 of them being, yes, I would love that. In June of 2019 is when I began to develop my first MVP, which was originated from my mother's homemade organic hair care recipes. I then started to experiment with the recipes myself. I conducted 4 testing phases during this period and discovered the following: consumers' pain points with non-organic hair care products, products consumers value most, and pricing points. Starting with 30 units, I was able to sell 10 units at the price of $5 and $8. I then gave the remaining 20 products as samples to a variety of different hair types to test the product's versatility. The value proposition of these products were that they are all natural, provided moisture, helped tame frizz, helped stimulate hair growth, and so much more. Continuing to use the lean startup methodology, we began to define the following using our business model canvas. Our customer segments consisted of health-conscious youth, mothers, natural hair institution and retailers, and lastly, independently employed hairstylists. I conducted a survey which consisted of 58 potential customers. When asked, when choosing hair care products, which of the following factors is most important to you, the highest chosen option was quality, with the second being product ingredients. When asked, what are some of your biggest hair concerns, over 55% of the surveyors responded that having dry hair and the lack of hair growth were top on their list of concerns. According to Statista, in 2018, the global hair care market is estimated to be worth over $87 billion. By 2025, it is estimated to be over $105 billion. Levor projects to have a total addressable market of approximately $2 million by 2022. After receiving feedback from the 20 samples, I found that the products did not transfer well between a few of the hair types, so I decided to stop selling to perfect the recipes and save our soon-to-be reputation. During this product development phase, I took 5 months to refine my product line, perfect my recipes, study the market, create the needed connections to continue expanding my company, and build a team. I cold called over 40 locations around the Midwest to understand how I could get my products into market. 15 of these locations were in Milwaukee, and I walked into each of these businesses to speak with the owners. From this, I received mentorship from owners of top salons, store owners, and hair schools to help continue guide me to where I want to be. During this phase, I also created a second version of my MVP to continue my testing once my recipes were finalized. One of the most important things I realized I needed was a strong team member, which is one of the key resources to scaling my company. I was fortunate enough to find my now partner, Jonathan, who is now the CFO and head of operations. Another huge part of Levor's success comes along with the personal touch I add, as Levor goes hand in hand with my personal brand as well. January and February, I placed my products into 4 retail locations. Due to limited capacity, we focused primarily on the new retailers and slowed down on e-commerce. Before we did that, we had one more sale, and in 3 days with no paid marketing, we made $412. In a 6-month time period, with no paid and reduced marketing due to capacity, revenue totaled $2,300. In February, we participated in a business plan competition where we won $5,000. We invested that money into rebranding and inventory. We also partnered with a photographer and designer who will continue to help us visually communicating our story. One of our biggest risks during this period was purchasing hundreds of bottles and ingredients of inventory and having no one purchase them. By participating in this competition, we learned we needed people who were familiar with this industry to scale most effectively. We now have an advisory board of 3 strong mentors. We have used all of these phases as our ultimate MVP, and we are now partnering with a contract manufacturer to continue scaling. Through them, they will make, store, and fulfill all product orders, allowing us to focus on sales, marketing, and building a solid brand. Our goals for the remainder of the year is to have our products sold in Whole Foods, release our men's line, and have over 100,000 in total sales. Thank you for joining us on our journey, and we hope that you too can make every day a good hair day.